Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Linda Lloyd, and I'm the presiding officer assigned by the board to conduct this portion of the Category 2 license renewal hearing for Holdings Acquisition Company, LP, doing business as Rivers Pittsburgh. Before we begin, if you can turn off your cell phones or to vibrate your cell phones and that sort of thing. I've been told that normally we do stream these hearings live, but I've been told that there is some internet connectivity issues. So if you are out watching this on YouTube and it disappears, it's because we're having internet connectivity issues here. But the video of today's proceedings will be posted to the board's website tomorrow. So you can go and watch it at that point if you lose the feed and can't get it back. So as the presiding officer, I call this hearing to order. The date is Wednesday, March 16th, 2022. The time is 10:29, and the location is the Allegheny County Courthouse, the Gold Room, number 410 at 436 Grant Street in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Racehorse and Development Gaming Act requires at Section 1326 that an operator's license shall be subject to renewal by the board every 5 years. This license renewal hearing is convened by the board pursuant to the mandate found in Section 1205B of the Gaming Act that requires the board to conduct a public input hearing for any license renewal application. This hearing was advertised on the board's website, announced by the board at previous public board meetings, and advertised in local newspapers. And all the board members are present with us today for the hearing. The hearing will begin with a presentation by Rivers Pittsburgh with cross-examination of witnesses by the board's Office of Enforcement Counsel and questions from board members. The Office of Enforcement Counsel will then make a presentation with the same cross-examination of witnesses by Rivers Counsel and questions by the board. At the close of those two presentations, those individuals who have registered to speak today at the hearing during the public comment period will be heard as their names are called, and each speaker registered will have 5 minutes to provide their thoughts on the renewal application. So let's begin by having all the witnesses for Rivers Pittsburgh and the Office of Enforcement Counsel who will testify today during the hearing. Please stand and raise your right hand to be sworn by the court reporter.
Swear or affirm the testimony that you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you.
And if I could just remind all the speakers to state and spell their name for the court reporter for the first time they speak. So he has your spellings, but he'll have them on the record. Take it away, John.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I want to thank everybody I recognize this is a statutorily required hearing, but I want to thank everyone for taking the time to come here and to allow us this opportunity to present the changes that have occurred at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh since our last formal presentation. I want to also I recognize that this is a public input hearing, and the members of the public appreciate you coming out. Apologize the setting that we're probably going to have our backs to you when we speak. Also, my thanks I know that to you, Director Lloyd, for all your work putting this together. It's been quite an ordeal. It always is. And I see Executive Director O'Toole and Ashley and I have been working with the Office of Enforcement Counsel, putting together the presentation and the proofs that we'll put in today and responding to questions from that division. It's an important element of the statute that we recognize because casinos were invited into Pennsylvania, into the Commonwealth some years ago, and the legislature correctly wrote into the statute that the public has a right to know what's going on and a right to have their comments heard. That's the purpose of this hearing as I understand it today. This is an interesting project because most of the people in this room probably were not following closely what happened in 2008 in this project. But this project has risen from the ashes. In 2008,
John, interrupt you. They're having a little bit of a problem hearing you. Do you have your microphone on? Are you speaking into it? Is the red light on the microphone?
There's no light here.
Okay, there's a silver button, should be a silver button on the microphone base. Is there or no?
No.
Okay, Richard's coming to help you out.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2 3.
It's coming through, so you're just going to have to get a little closer maybe. Okay. If you could just get a little closer to the microphone.
Will do. Forgot to thank Rich for coming, too. He's my go-to guy on this stuff. And you got a great asset in him, by the way. He fixes a lot of problems. Back to where I was. In 2008, this project was shuttered. What had happened is the financial crisis had hit. It couldn't be financed. I'm sure Linda remembers. She was around at the time. And the project, the construction manager went to the labor unions and to the contractors, and who were threatening, well, the company was essentially in default and a hair's breadth away from bankruptcy, but bankruptcy would have fouled things up forever. So the job was shut down, and the labor unions, to their great credit, and the contractors both agreed to stand still while the construction manager operator could try to find financing along with others. I went to Wall Street, went here or there. Ultimately found, because he had a very minor interest in the Philadelphia casino, found Neil Bloom and Greg Carlin out of the Chicago group that's called Rush Street Gaming now. They were able to finance this project, and it was nip and tuck for quite a while. So 2008, we went from, and what's remarkable to me, and I think remarkable to everybody, from 2008, we went from a shutdown project, and I'm from Atlantic City, and I've seen shutdown projects sit for years and years and years with rusting steel up, to what you're going to see today. So I take no credit for it whatsoever, but I give a lot of credit, enormous credit to this team, the flexibility of the commission at that time, because it was tough times for them too. And when that project was taken over, ultimately licensed then, and we went to, I think, 2 renewals before then. And today you're going to hear what's come of this entire exercise that was dead on its feet. So with that, I didn't introduce myself. John Donnelly, I'm the Council for Rivers, and I have been for some time. I'm going to turn it over to Bud Green and let him introduce his team. Bud's our general manager, and we're off to the races.
Thanks, John. My name is Bud Green, B-U-D, G-R-E-E-N. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to travel here to Pittsburgh for our relicensing hearing. Thank you also to everyone in the audience for attending. I know parking downtown could be a problem. I used to live downtown, so thanks for everyone getting down here. Again, I am Bud Green, General Manager of Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. With me, I have members of our leadership team who will also be speaking. I have Shannon Redmond, our Vice President of Marketing, Danielle Cisneros Ditto, Vice President and General Counsel, Dr. Ramon Hart, our Director of Community Relations, Andre Barnaby, our Senior VP of Gaming Operations. Also in the audience, we have Jim Cahill, our Director of Security, and Tom Quigley, our Director of Surveillance. Turn to page 5. To give a quick history of Rivers Casino, like John was talking about, there was a developer that was awarded the license here in Pittsburgh in 2006. Construction began in 2007. And then in 2008, the recession hit, and the project was shut down. 1,000 to 1,500 construction jobs were furloughed, and there was a risk of 2,500 construction jobs at risk altogether. In 2008, Rush Street founders Neil Bloom and Greg Carlin stepped in and restarted the project and agreed to honor all the commitments that were made by the original license awardee and developer. In 2009, the project was completed and Rivers Casino opened in August. From 2008, where there was a chance the project was never going to get done, to 2022, we're among Pittsburgh's top entertainment destinations. We have hit many milestones that we'll detail throughout this presentation. Some of those, if you go to page 7 there, since opening, some of the highlights include in 2010, Pennsylvania approved table games, and we added a full lineup of tables. In 2017, sports betting was approved. Thank you very much. And 2018, we opened our temporary sports book. And then in 19, we opened our permanent sports book. We also in 19 expanded in our banquet operation and opened up a event center, about 25,000 square foot event center. And then actually in 2019, years in the making, we finally broke ground on the Landing Hotel right next to the casino. If you go to page 8, we continue to be a great place to work, a strong economic engine, and a proud community partner. And throughout this presentation, we're going to describe the reasons why we are that. If you go to the next page, on page 9, just to give you some details on the property, we're roughly 480,000 square feet. We have over 2,500 slot machines, 99 tables, 30 poker tables. Like I mentioned, 35,000 square feet roughly of banquet and event space, and about 3,800 parking spot garage. If you go to the next page, on page 10, since the very beginning, there's been $900 million invested into the property, and that's from the very beginning with construction, slot machine purchases, you name it, all the way up to the hotel that we're currently building. So $900 million reinvested into that property on the North Shore. I think is a very significant number. As you go to page 11, and since 2015, since our last hearing, we've actually invested $100 million into the property. As I mentioned, the Landing Hotel, which was about $60 million. Some of the other bigger projects, I mentioned the Event Center at $3.9 million. The River Sportsbook, the permanent one was $5.3 million. And our new Moderano's Prime Italian Steakhouse, which was about $3 million. On the next page, you'll see a little chart with some of the gaming tax, over $2 billion in gaming tax paid. And we break it out for you guys in our presentation on the page. I won't go through the numbers, but it goes line by line on what that breakout is. And furthermore, on the next page, you'll see $141 million in city, county, and Pennsylvania tax paid as well. And again, the breakdown is in your presentations for you to take a look at. And one thing we're actually real proud of, if you go to the next slide, throughout the years, $14.6 million have been generated for Pittsburgh and Allegheny County libraries, and that comes out of our table game tax that I referenced. That's referenced on page 12 of the presentation. We continue to pay $7.5 million annually to the SCA for the construction expense of PPG Arena. By the end of 22, we'll have paid over $100 million with a total commitment over the 30 years of $225 million. So as the Rivers Casino pandemic safety officer during COVID, one thing I want to detail before I turn it over to Shannon was our response to COVID. Obviously, it was an unprecedented time, but we put many steps in place to mitigate the risk. First, we suspended all operations before the governor's order. Subsequently, all U.S. casinos were closed. Commercial casinos were closed, I should say. Our team member compensation continued with uninterrupted benefits. And we also launched our Rivers Clean Team once we reopened. And one thing I want to stress on this, I note, it's called Atmosair. So Atmosair was a technology that we installed in our air handler units prior to COVID, probably about 2016, 2017, multi-million-dollar investment to purify the air. And actually, with COVID, it's been tested and it's been stated that it's been 99.9% effective against COVID. So we continually upgrade those air handler units and really focus on to make sure the air quality in our casino is top-notch. And other things we've done, the game floor modifications during COVID, then the plexiglass, the social distancing, hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes throughout the casino, and the mask wearing and the temperature checks as well. And we do still follow all CDC guidelines when it comes to COVID. So we're abreast of what what they're saying and focused on their website to make sure we're up to date with any guideline changes that they may have. So all in, we've invested for COVID mitigation about $1.7 million for the safety of our guests and team members. So thank you everybody. Now I'd like to introduce Sharon, our Vice President of Marketing.
Good morning. It's Sharon, S-H-A-N-N-O-N, Redmond, R-E-D-M-O-N-D. As Bud said, I'm the Vice President of Marketing with the Rivers Casino. I'll celebrate my 8-year anniversary on Sing-Sing this May. So on the first slide, I want to talk about how we're evolving into a regional destination, and we're expanding our marketing accordingly. Some of the tools we use are actually investing back into our local businesses, such as our media buying agency, our radio and TV partners, and our sports partners. These local working relationships are what enable us to execute on our marketing strategies. Our partnership with Pittsburgh Penguins is a perfect example of utilizing sports partners. Our sponsorship of the Pittsburgh Penguins is an addition to and separate from the SCA payments that spoke of. We actually have the title of Official Casino and Official Sportsbook of the Pittsburgh Penguins, which is important as we establish ourselves as this regional destination. This is a key part of our marketing strategy, as it enables us to expand our Rivers brand to Penguins fans that are not within our current market. We also have a strong presence within the PG Arena. This is an area that we built called the Rivers Lounge. This was an additional investment of $2.1 million to build this beautiful bar, which is in a prime location within the arena. In addition to the bar, there are also what we consider not only the best seats in the house, but also most comfortable, as these seats are modeled after our very own sportsbook at Rivers Casino. Our relationship with our Stanley Cup winning hockey team results in promoting not only our winning sports teams, but also the casino and the local offerings within Pittsburgh. Next slide, please. Since 2015, we have hosted a variety of different types of events. Some that focus on our place as a community partner, while others have resulted in national exposure for Pittsburgh. Some examples of this national exposure include hosting Gabby Barrett and a live outdoor concert with local fans, community, and media there to cheer her on as an American Idol finalist. We also hosted Shark Tank auditions within Rivers Casino. Other local events, just to name a few, that we have hosted in Pittsburgh every year, best places to work as well as top places. Next slide. Another piece to expanding our brand is by using the capital investment that Bud spoke of with the events. We do this by presenting legendary entertainment designed to draw a large audience from an expanded geographic area. We've sold out quite a few of our shows, from comedians Jay Leno and Ron White, to Kool and the Gang, to Styx, to most recently Boys to Men. This out-of-state draw, coupled with unique dining offerings such as Morgana's Prime, enables us to attract a larger market area due to highlighting and focusing on our ability to create an experience that's worth talking about, with the ultimate intent of driving guests to the property. As you know, we're also now building a hotel, which is another valuable asset in working towards our goal of becoming this regional destination. Ultimately, we are striving to create an entertainment destination that goes beyond gaming. Success for Rivers Casino includes several aspects, from ensuring we're a great place to work for our team members, to being an engaged community partner, to drawing in gaming revenues that includes also coming in from other states to grow our business. Next slide, please. In 2019, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary, where we had a variety of events celebrating 10 years of strong community partnerships, 10 years of providing entertainment experiences, and 10 years of providing a great place to work for our team members. It was a proud moment for all of us, and we're looking forward to continuing that success and celebrating our next anniversaries. And I just want to talk a little bit about recognition. This is recognition from third parties that we have received, and it really speaks to how hard we work for our reputation. These are just a few examples of awards that we've received, and when it comes down to how we're winning these awards, it all goes back to the hard work of our Rivers Casino team members. The dedication and loyalty of our team members are the key to Rivers Casino earning this recognition, and the entire Rivers Casino team is very proud of how far we have come since 2009. And now I'd like to introduce Danielle.
Thank you, Shannon. Danielle Cisneros Ditto, DANNIELLECISNEROS-DITTO. I think Rivers has won a lot of awards, but I think I get the award for the longest name here today. Good morning, Director Lloyd, Chairperson Smiler, and Commissioners. I am the Vice President and General Counsel for Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. I'm proud to say that I've been a team member since 2010. I'm here today to present a little bit about our compliance program. We at Rivers Casino pride ourselves in our commitment to providing great service, maintaining the highest level of game integrity, and providing a safe environment for all of our patrons and our team members alike. We have a long-standing history of self-reporting incidents that occur and are committed to having an open and transparent relationship with the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board, the Bureau of Casino Compliance, including the BCC representatives on site, the Bureau of Licensing, the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement, the Bureau of Gaming Operations, and an Office of Enforcement Counsel, and the Pennsylvania State Police, among others. We maintain communication with all of these various departments and agencies on a constant, probably daily basis. Slide 25, please. Underage gaming prevention is a critical component of the compliance program at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh, and it's an initiative we take very seriously. We continue to utilize annual casino ID training, and we train many of our team members, not just our security department. We train our table games and poker team members, many of our food and beverage staff, our slots team, marketing team members, among others, people that have regular contact with patrons. We often use real-life examples of fake or false identification that have been received from patrons by our security staff at our entrances, as people who are not supposed to be there are attempting to enter our gaming floor. Our security team uses advanced ID scanners at the entrances, and we continue to maintain our commitment to require photo identification from anyone appearing 30 years of age or younger. Our security team makes a referral to law enforcement for each underage suspect found and for each false identification presented to our staff, regardless of age. We have a great working relationship with the Pennsylvania State Police on site, and they work hand in hand with both our security and our surveillance teams.
Your notification is to law enforcement. What does that mean? City of Pittsburgh or State Police?
It would be State Police, okay, because it's a gaming floor issue, yes. And when designing the Landing Hotel Pittsburgh and its connection to our existing facility, we made sure that all connections have security checkpoints in order to continue our commitment to prohibit, as best we can, underage gambling. Slide 26, please. In fact, children have been a critical topic of conversation throughout Pennsylvania. We are unfortunately unable to prevent parents from making bad choices. However, we are making significant efforts to warn patrons and react swiftly when a parent or guardian makes the bad choice to leave a young child unattended on our property. We recently updated and increased existing signage that we had to warn patrons. Some of those signs are shown on your slides. We have put signage on every floor of the garage, in the elevator banks, and at every entrance to our casino. In addition, we have added signage to the emergency call boxes that are on every floor of the garage.
So I think you know I'm passionate about this issue. So somebody in today, make sure you tell me and the board, adding a hotel is a whole new dynamic now with kids not left unattended in cars in hotel rooms. So I don't want to interrupt. I am interrupting, but I don't want to interrupt your flow. Somebody tell me what process you're going to put in place for folks checking in at the hotels. If there's a kid, do you ask? So just put that on your radar screen. So somebody.
And I'd be happy to address that offline as well. We do not.
I don't want it online. I want it on the record.
We don't have those policies in place yet, as our
That's
hotel
unfortunate.
is not
I've been here for 5 years.
We are still working on best practices for those.
I
Absolutely.
understand that, but I've been here for 5 years, and you know I'm passionate about this. So it's a miss that somebody didn't come with that information today.
We have multiple cameras on every floor of our parking garage, and our security team has increased parking garage patrols. We've invested over $67,000 for enhanced LED lighting in the garage. A lifetime property ban is issued to a patron who leaves a young child unattended in a car, and law enforcement is contacted to handle any criminal charges that may be filed. We are and remain committed to doing what we can to help with this issue, and we continue to be diligent in our efforts at the property to maintain best practices. Next slide, please. Rivers Casino Pittsburgh continues with its commitment to responsible gaming programs as well. Our team members are all trained upon new hire and annually after that. Team members are in fact suspended from working if they don't complete their training by the due date, and they are not permitted to work until they complete it. Self-excluded patrons who violate their agreement with the Commonwealth by gambling at our property are banned, and law enforcement, meaning PSP, often prosecutes these individuals for defiant criminal trespass. In addition, while it's not required, we took the initiative to issue property bans to any individual who self-excludes from online gaming. Next slide, please. Responsible alcohol management is an area that we take very seriously. We are a RAMP certified license holder. The program requires that 50% of the alcohol service staff be trained. Currently, we train all of our alcohol service staff, and in addition, we train other team members that routinely come into contact with patrons. Some of those departments are shown on the slide. Our goal is always to provide a safe and compliant and entertaining environment for our patrons because they're our family, our neighbors, our friends, and our community. And here today to discuss our commitment to the community is Dr. Ramon Hart, our Director of Community Relations. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Danielle, and good morning, everyone. My name is Ramon Hart. That's R-A-H-M-O-N, Hart, H-A-R-T. I've been the Director of Community Relations at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh for nearly 8 years. I'll actually celebrate on April Fool's Day. It'll be my 8th. But I'm a Pittsburgh native who grew up in the most abutting neighborhood in Manchester on the north side. Next slide. A major part of my role at Rivers is to provide leadership for our community engagement initiatives. I'm proud to be a part of an organization who's genuinely committed to giving back to the community. Community engagement is very much part of the Rush Street gaming culture, and it's embedded into the fabric of everything that we do. Rivers Gives is our corporate social responsibility program that helps us to maintain strong relationships with a wide range of organizations in the city of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County. One of the most exciting aspects of the Rivers Gives program is that it provides opportunities for our team members to go out into the community every month and spend a day helping a local nonprofit organization to complete a project that they deem as critical to their mission. Rivers Casino team members volunteer more than 2,000 hours each year. We're gonna play a brief video that gives you an idea of the program and the types of projects that we do.
At Rivers Casino, we do amazing things here through the Rivers Give program. Once a month, we're able to get out there into the communities that we live in and impact other people's lives in such a positive way.
You know, it's just a program that gives back all year long. We do things like landscaping, we pass out turkeys and hams during the holiday season, but we also do painting and events like Project Bundle Up.
Rivers Gives is proof that there are good people and that when we all work together, we can have a positive impact on our community.
You know, when we came here in 2009, we were embraced by the community. We just want to give back and embrace the community like they embraced us, and I think that's the most important thing.
I would say that the best gift you could ever give is the opportunity to give back, and we're so fortunate to have that opportunity through the Rivers Gives program.
As you can see from the video, we really enjoy giving back, and our bond with the community has grown stronger and stronger every year. Our involvement extends beyond service projects and includes our executive leadership team serving on several local nonprofit boards and committees. I won't read everything on the slide listed, but this gives you a quick snapshot of our service. Next slide, please. We are proud community partners who stand shoulder to shoulder with countless nonprofit organizations throughout the year. In addition to having boots on the ground and volunteering, we know that it takes financial resources to coordinate high-quality programs and initiatives. Through our Rivers Gives charitable donation program, we have given over $12 million to over 200 organizations. These resources help them to carry out their mission of serving the local community. It should also be noted that these donations don't include the $7.5 million per year that we give for the Penguins Arena. Next slide. A large part of giving back to the community also includes doing business with local, minority, and women-owned businesses. We spend an average of $20 million a year with local businesses and $6 million a year with minority and women-owned businesses. This is something that we do by design. Our team regularly participates in supplier diversity and MWBE training sessions so that we stay up to date on the latest trends and continuously think about how we can improve. We also host How to Do Business with Rivers Casino seminars, which focuses on the uniqueness of opportunities and the processes like the licensing process and so forth. And we host an annual Share Supplier Diversity Conference in our event center that connects minority and women-owned businesses with real contract opportunities. We realize that's a significant impact that small businesses have on the local economy, which is why these strategic initiatives are so important to the part of our larger corporate social responsibility strategy. At this time, I'll turn it over to Andre, who is our Senior Vice President of Gaming Operations. I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramon. Good morning, everybody. As Ramon mentioned, my name is Andre Barnaby, A-N-D-R-E, B-A-R-N-A-B-E-I, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Gaming Operations here at Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh. I've had the privilege of being with this organization now for over 14 years and have kind of seen, as John mentioned, from the start and our rocky start to where we are today. It's been an amazing experience for me personally as well as my family here in the Pittsburgh area. I'm going to begin on slide 36, where I focus on our continued reinvestment and our focus on the future of gaming at Rivers Casino. We are focused on the continued evolution of our gaming experience, and we've done some key initiatives and reinvestments in the property to make sure that we are a leader in the market. Our ongoing reinvestment on the gaming floor, here's a snapshot. Over $20 million in slot reinvestment, $1.9 million in new gaming floor carpet, and might I tell you that was a quite interesting project, taking everything out and putting it right back in, and almost $1 million in new gaming floor chairs. We were first to market with hybrid gaming, which is where a dealer assists an electronic station with live table games. And you'll see my friend Russ there in the photo. If you ever get a chance to see Russ on the weekends, I guarantee it'll be an entertaining experience. Next slide, please. We also had the opportunity to introduce our Bet Rivers Sportsbook. And we went 0 to Sportsbook in 43 days in our temporary Sportsbook. And a special thanks to some of the PGCB members and partnerships that we had to get through that in 43 days was pretty remarkable. And then we moved on to open our permanent Sportsbook in 2019, which you'll see there pictured in the picture on the right. It was a $5.3 million investment. That investment gave us what I feel a sportsbook that rivals many sportsbooks throughout the country. Not only did it give us a new amenity to the property, it gave us an opportunity to grow our business and grow our team. You'll see pictured there on the left-hand side a gentleman named Max Schmieren. Max started with us as a security officer. He went on to become an intern with us at Rivers Casino. He later became a slot attendant, a slot supervisor. I asked him to move over and take the chance and open the sportsbook with us in that 43-day period, and he did. He became a sportsbook supervisor, and Max is now the sportsbook manager here at Rivers Casino. A great story for Max. Max is just one of those examples of team members that have had opportunity here at Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh. Next slide, please. I feel that this is just one of the reasons why our team members continually vote us one of the best places to work in one of the top workplaces here in Pittsburgh. Next slide, please. Rivers Casino is truly a best place to work, a great place to work. We're one of Pittsburgh's largest employers. We employ over 1,300 team members, 96% of which are Pennsylvania residents. 38% of that group is female, and 31% are minority. Of our nearly 200 executive, management, and professional staff, 32% are female and 13% are minority. We have nearly 100 team members that have been with us from day one, and over our course, we've had over 1,700 internal staff promotions, including opportunities for myself personally throughout these years. Some other noteworthy reasons as to why we are a great place to work. Rush Street Gaming, as John mentioned, kind of our ownership group, they stepped back and they looked and they've determined that they wanted to come up with an enterprise-wide commitment to a living wage. So what does that mean? Our team members earn a minimum of $15 per hour. And when you step back and you add the benefit value into that, we're over $25 per hour. Our tipped employees already take home over $15 an hour. And a real-life example of that would be our table games dealers, earning somewhere between $45,000 and $50,000 a year, plus the value of their benefits. Next slide, please. Some of those benefits that I have listed here today, I won't go through them all, things like medical, dental, vision, prescription drug, things like our team member events and giveaways, right, where we focus on family and community. We take our team members to Kennywood Park each year. For some of you that aren't aware, it's a small local amusement park here in the city. We allow them and a guest to attend. We allow their families to come. We rent a pavilion, and we really just have a great day. We do it over 2 different days. It's a fun, exciting day. Sometimes it's a family vacation for our team members, right? We also give away things like turkeys and hams around the holidays to our team members. And of course, we focus on their future with things like our 401k or our tuition reimbursement. And I would add that our 401k is not necessarily a standard one. It only takes 6 months to get involved in our 401k. You're vested 100% immediately with a 100% match on the first 3% and 50% on the next 2. Next page, please. We continue to look for top talent to grow our business and develop new careers in this industry. We're always hiring, we're always focusing on recruitment and retention, and we try to have fun while doing so. You'll see pictured there an image of a shirt that we created recently, and it gives our team members an opportunity once a week to wear a shirt in our environment. On the back, if you can't read it, it says, "I got hired at Rivers Casino, and all I got was a satisfying career, great benefits, coworkers who value me and support my growth, plus this t-shirt." And we do that as kind of a fun way for our team members to try to recruit from within our building. We also have some great initiatives and partnerships. So we've partnered with CCAC. We have a paid dealer school. With that dealer school, we pay you to go to school, we pay for your tuition at CCAC, and we give you a direct audition for a direct line for a job for us here at Rivers in Pittsburgh. And lastly, our employment partners, as I mentioned, CCAC, amongst many others. We have other things that we're involved with. As an example, most recently, I was at Robert Morris College presenting to a group of students there in a full-day workshop where we focused on careers. And we talked to them about our internship programs and the opportunity for them to partner with us, not only for graduates, but also for students if they're looking for work while they're in school to help them support paying for their education. And with that, I will turn it back over to Bud Green. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. So as you see on the screen there in your presentations, that's a rendering of our hotel, which will be opening up this summer. And we're very excited here at Rivers Casino about the construction of the Landing Hotel. Like I said, it's going to be complete this summer. It's been a long time coming, and we're thrilled that we're almost to the finish line. Some of the details include it's a $60 million investment, privately funded, 7-story, 219 rooms, 128 permanent new hotel and casino jobs, 1,400 temporary construction jobs. We've used a local general contractor, Macero, projected at $10.6 million in new annual tax revenue for the city, county, and state, and it was built with 100% union labor. As you can see a picture there on the right, that was a group of our team members at the groundbreaking ceremony back in 2019. You know, with this new amenity, we're looking forward to giving our current guests a new hotel experience. We're also looking forward to attracting new customers and guests, not just to the casino, but to the Pittsburgh area. With the previously mentioned event center and now our hotel, we're looking forward to attracting visitors for a plethora of reasons. Some of those are big concerts, conventions and trade shows, you know, home sporting events. You know, sometimes when you're walking on the North Shore during a Cubs series, you see more Cubs jerseys than Pirate jerseys. So I think there's a big opportunity for visitors come from, you know, from outside the region to visit Pittsburgh and enjoy the city. You know, meetings and expos, weddings, and weekend getaways from out-of-town visitors, as well as locals enjoying a quick staycation here in Pittsburgh.
I'm sorry, Mr. Green, did I miss, when's it opening?
During the summer. There's not a specific date yet. We're still working through some supply chain issues, but it will be, if I was to ballpark it, Sean, July or August. You're welcome. So I'd like to thank our team members, our guests, our community, and members of the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board for everything over the last 12 plus years. We're looking forward not only to continue to be a Pittsburgh entertainment destination, but being a premier regional entertainment destination. Thank you much for your time. Appreciate everything you guys do for us. Thank you.
Turn to commissioners for any questions. I'll start at the end with Commissioner Manzo-Diaz.
The light's on. Okay.
There you go.
A couple of questions. With regard to, you were talking about the organizations you were involved with. Are there any Latino organizations that you were involved with? Yes, please.
Yes, there are. In fact, we have a great relationship with Casa San Jose and also the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. For instance, we have networking events in our drum bar, you know, and we also attend the different programs and events that they have as
Okay.
well.
Okay, good. That's good to know. Also, with regard to your suppliers, could we get a breakdown of the minority suppliers that you have? So how many African American, Asians, Latino suppliers that you have? That'd be helpful to us.
Okay, no problem.
And then also with regard to employees, both the employees and the management and your employment partners, we'd like to have a breakdown of, you know, when you say minorities, what does that mean? How many African Americans, how many Latinos, how many Asians in that breakdown, so that we can really see the picture of DE&I.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank
And
you.
for ease of distribution, Mr. Donnelly, if you would just send that information to the board clerk, and we can have it distributed to the board members.
And I can read the percentages now if you would like.
If you have them.
Yes. Caucasian 69%, African American 12%, Hispanic 2%, 14% Asian, and 3% other.
And this is for the supplier diversity?
This is for our employment.
Oh,
Supplier
employment,
diversity,
okay.
we would provide that to you.
Okay.
Yep.
This is for the employees, and what about management? Do you have those numbers?
We would have to provide that with you.
Okay.
The breakdowns.
All right, and then your employment partners as well.
Okay.
That you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Commissioner Regan?
No questions. Great presentation. I'm sorry. Great presentation. No questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Mustillo?
No questions, great presentation, but I would like the recipe for the meatball.
Chair Smiler?
I just have two questions. The first one is with regard to the hotel, I think, to follow up on Commissioner Logan's concern about unattended children. Will you have policies in place to address the potential of unattended children in the hotel prior to the hotel opening in the summer?
Oh, we will definitely have procedures in place. I've already reviewed them personally. We're working to finalize them. Didn't want to give you an unfinalized version. Our Director of Security, Jim Cahill, who's sitting here with us, has worked at multiple properties with hotels, has lots of experience to create a best demonstrated practice. So we will definitely have policies in place to make sure the issue is definitely addressed 100% effectively.
And you will share
to the
those?
best of our ability.
And you'll share those with us when they are final?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And with regard to Rivers Gives, which I think is an incredibly wonderful program, are the team members required to participate, or is it voluntary? And if it's voluntary, what percentage of team members actually do participate?
It's voluntary, and Ramon, if you have the details on the percentage of... No. Oh, yeah. So we can provide you the numbers, but roughly depending on the project, sometimes it could be as low as 5 to 10 volunteers, up to 20 to 30 volunteers per event. So we do a sign-up sheet to make sure everybody has an opportunity to sign up that wants to sign up for it, and we do pay them as well to go out and volunteer their time. So I know it's kind of an oxymoron, but we feel that it is a nice thing we do for them to I don't want to say incentivize volunteer work, but it does give them the opportunity to still get paid and really help the community.
Actually, that was one of my questions. Was there an incentive? And you just answered that. And I was thinking annually, not project by project, annually, what percentage of your team members participate in the program?
Yeah, we definitely we can calculate that out. We keep track of everybody who volunteers, and it's obviously fluctuated with COVID and our employee base, but we can give you a ballpark number for that.
Good. And lastly, if you could at some point tell us of the total annual spend, what percentage is spent on local businesses and what percentage is spent on minority and women-owned businesses?
We could definitely break that out for you and get that to the clerk.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Dermody?
No questions.
Commissioner Ralston?
No question.
And Commissioner Logan?
Just two comments. One, huge fan of Dr. Hart. There's not a time that you don't see where he's in the community, so we appreciate that. I know you mentioned 20 or so community groups, but we know that there's so many more, and appreciate your support for the Parkinson's Clinic at Pitt. It's an issue that's close to me, so I do appreciate that. Just a follow-up on Madam Chair's comment about the hotel. We have just seen some horrendous examples with some of the casinos that have hotels. 2 children left unattended, and the younger one started to choke, and the older one, which wasn't that much older, then had to call down not an adult in the room. We had an instance where there was a minor left in a hotel room, and the key that another person got from the front desk went in and opened that door, and there was just a minor in it. The countless examples of minors that are in the hotel room and just walked the halls. So again, I just implore you to make sure you come back to us with that process in place, because it's just, I can't imagine that something more terrible hasn't happened yet, but it will. And I know you can't parent, but you can try to put some process in place that prevents it. Signage helps and other things. So just implore you to, the whole board is very passionate, not as passionate as I am, but overly passionate. They're passionate, but I'm half Italian and half Irish, I think I express it a little bit more. So, and then just a follow-up, I know you give to the community, and as I said, we totally appreciate that. If there are any agreements or MOUs with any community groups or organizations that are not legislatively mandated, if you are renewed, will you renew those agreements?
I'll have to follow. I mean, I'll have to follow up. I don't see why we wouldn't, but I just need to understand what those agreements are, and we can follow up with you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll turn to our Office of Enforcement Counsel. Do you have any questions for the witnesses?
Thank you, Director Lloyd. Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. Ashley Gabriel, Gabrielle, for the Office of Enforcement Counsel. Sorry. I also have present my co-counsel, if she may introduce herself.
Elizabeth Boehm, Elizabeth, Boehm.
And Ms. Boehm will begin the questioning of the Rivers.
Morning. May I draw your attention to slide 9 of the presentation? Yes. Are all of the Rivers food and beverage facilities and other amenities now open? And are you providing full service to Rivers patron, or are there any COVID-19 restrictions still in place here for any of these?
Right now, the one outlet that is not open is our buffet, and we still, we're evaluating what the next steps for that space would be. So that's outside of that, we've pretty much gotten the full operating hours that we had pre-COVID, but with staffing being such a little bit of a concern, we're sometimes we have to fluctuate hours or close early, but the only outlet that's not open is the buffet.
Thank you. Regarding slides 12 through 14 and 33, I'll continue, where it states $2 billion paid in gaming tax, $141 million paid in city, county, and Pennsylvania tax, $14.6 million paid for Pittsburgh and Allegheny County libraries, and $12+ million paid to 200+ Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania nonprofits. Do these figures reflect amounts paid by Rivers during the renewal period only, from 2015 through present?
Oh no, sorry. That's been from the beginning.
From the very beginning. And is it possible to get the information?
Yeah, we can get you that information. Okay. Not a problem.
Thank you very much. May I draw your attention to slide 16 of the presentation? Now, what does the $1.7 million include? You mentioned the items on the slide, but do you have additional COVID health and safety mitigation efforts?
Everything that's included in this slide. I can get you a breakdown of some of the items. One thing I didn't mention when I was speaking on the fourth bullet, I talked about atmosphere, and it's up in our air handler units. One of the expenses that's in that 1.7 million is the air PHX units. Those are kind of smaller units that you get, or kind of wall mounted, that have pretty much the same technology to purify the air, and we've installed those throughout the back of house, as well as some locations on the casino floor where there may not be appropriate air handling units. Example would be if you go in our poker room, we have one of the units there, as well as our high limit table game area.
And what COVID-related health and safety mitigations protocols have you moved away from or intend to move away from, and what protocols are you keeping in place as the statewide COVID-related restrictions are being lifted?
Well, as we continue to communicate with the board with our changes, right now, what we do have in place still is we still have all our hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes on the floor. We continue to upgrade the Atmos air units that I mentioned previously. Plexiglass has been taken down. The social distancing, we don't have the markings on the floor anymore. But we continue to focus just extra cleaning, that regimen.
We now draw your attention to slide 28, presentation related to RAMP, or Responsible Alcohol Management Program. Okay. The slide states that RAMP requires 50% of the alcohol service staff to be trained, and currently you have 872 team members trained. What percentage of this is your alcohol staff?
Of our entire alcohol staff, our entire alcohol staff is trained service staff. I don't have that exact percentage. Our entire food and beverage team is about 400 team members. That would include cooks and every other back of the house cleaning position. This 872 is well more than half of our entire casino employment.
So you said you don't have the percentage of your alcohol staff, though?
No.
Okay.
We can get that to you, but.
Okay. And what other team members have you trained? Or are RAMP certified, you mentioned team members?
The marketing hosts, player services management, all of poker, all of table games, all of slots, valet, and security.
You mentioned you don't have the exact percentage, but do you have the COVID-19 closures or layoffs in 2020 and 2021, have they had impact on Rivers meeting its RAMP training?
No, they have not.
In general. And have the 2020 or 2021 COVID closures and layoffs had any impact on Rivers' ability to meet any other training requirements, such as initial and annual problem gaming training regarding underage gamblers, excluding individuals, and self-excluded patrons?
No.
May I draw your attention to slot 36? Okay. What is meant by a slot reinvestment?
So slot reinvestment would be where we purchased a new slot machine from a manufacturer. Rough cost, you're probably talking $20,000 per unit.
Okay. And next slide, 39. So there's a claim that of your team members, 38% are female and 31% minorities. Is this reflective of your applicant pool?
It would be reflective of our applicant pool, as well as generally reflective of Allegheny County as well.
Okay. And wait to move up. There is a claim regarding executive management professional staff that 32% female, 13% are minority. Can you tell us how many of these individuals double count?
How many of them, sorry?
Double count.
I would have to dig into that and get back to you on that. Question is how many count in each category?
Does Rivers have any standards or policies for recruiting Pennsylvania minorities and or women, particularly on your executive and management teams?
Yeah, so I would say not only on our executive and management teams, but recruiting women and minority is a priority. We have had multiple iterations throughout the year, and just prior to the shutdown, we started a team member diversity committee to focus specifically on different initiatives to go out to the community. Ramon is very instrumental himself in some of our community partnerships. I myself am recently more involved in human resources as well, and we're back out there hitting the pavement now that things have settled down to strengthen our partnerships. But if you look at our community partner list on slide 43, and this is just a snapshot, but there's a variety of partnerships, from local partnerships, women partnerships, minority partnerships, veteran partnerships. We really do our best to try to reach any and all different groups that are out there and available to us.
And is Rivers Casino facing any current staffing, hiring, or retention challenges?
Are we facing any staffing challenges? I wouldn't say that we're facing anything different than everybody else is right now. We're fortunate that we've got a good story to tell, and we've got a good employee base. Certainly there's some areas that are more challenging than others, but we're working through it.
And slide 41. Are these benefits solely for full-time, or do you offer part-time employees benefits as well?
Great question. Out of that list, just at a quick overview, I'd say pretty much everything but the first is available to all team members. Even things like our tuition reimbursement program, our 401k, those are available to our part-time team members.
And how many hours makes the difference between part-time and full-time?
So 30-hour average over our ACA period of look-back.
Okay.
So it'd be a one-year period.
How many hours do full-time benefits kick in at?
30, if you average 30 hours or more.
30 hours. And I'm going to refer you to my co-counsel for further questioning. Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Donnelly, do you have any follow-up questions based on those?
No, I don't. I do want to reference the letters of support that were also presented in the packet. And just briefly, the African American Chamber of Commerce, the August Wilson African American Cultural Center, Carnegie Science Center, the DLI printer or CDI printers, the Centers for Victims, CPI Creative, Omega Phi Psi Fraternity Qs, Mario Lamo Foundation, the National Avery, the Northside Shore, Philadelphia Penguins Foundation, and the Riverside Center for Innovation, and then a letter from the councilman for District 6, which is the district where Rivers is located. We could have got a whole lot more, but these are representative of what we see as a complete community support for this facility, and we're proud of that, and we could have burdened the record with more, but I think it's evident that this company's embedded in the community. Thank you.
Okay.
And I would move, if it's appropriate this time, Director, I'd move the PowerPoint and the letters and into evidence.
Okay, we'll mark the PowerPoint as Rivers Exhibit 1 and the letters as Rivers Exhibit 2. Does OEC have any objections?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
So moved. Before we turn to the Office of Enforcement Counsel and their presentation, we're going to hear from Dan Frankel and his comments, because he has another commitment, so we're going to try to get him out of here and on to his next thing.
Thanks.
Thank you. Can you raise your hand and be sworn for our court reporter?
Did that earlier, but
Did you stand to swear?
Yes,
okay, I'm sorry, I did not yet notice.
good morning. I'm State Representative Dan Frankel. That's DAN FRANKEL. And I also serve as the Democratic Chair of the Health Committee, which is, I say that because I think it's relevant to my testimony today. Chair Snyder and Director Lloyd, commissioners, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize three of my former colleagues here, Representative Mustio, Representative former Democratic leader Frank Dermody, and Senator Logan. Glad to see that you are continuing your public service. We're all very grateful for that. A lot has changed since we passed the Clean Indoor Air Act in 2008. There's even a larger body of evidence that secondhand smoke is deadly, and the public has long since lost the expectation that they would be able to light up indoors. But the biggest change is a significant drop in the percentage of adults who consider themselves smokers in America. That number now stands at 14%. This has meant far fewer children growing up in smoking households, improving their health outcomes and reducing their own likelihood of becoming smokers. Fewer low birth weight babies are born each year, and cases of both lung cancer and heart disease are dropping. This is a massive public health win, and it was largely brought about by government efforts to get cigarette smoke out of our public spaces. But Pennsylvania's Clean Indoor Air Act has had some glaring loopholes. And so one thing that has not changed since 2008 is that our casinos cater to that 14%, and the employees that work there suffer for it. Casino ownership will highlight their non-smoking sections and their high-tech filtration systems. But one casino employee explained it to me like this. The non-smoking section of a casino is like the non-peen section of a swimming pool. Air, like water, doesn't stay in one place. My office hears from casino employees and customers every week, particularly after the COVID-related smoking ban was lifted last summer. Workers have a good reason to be worried. Of the 20 million people who died from smoking-related conditions since 1964, 2.5 million were non-smokers who died from diseases caused by exposure to secondhand smoke. I assume that we all agree that cigarette smoke is deadly, so I will only highlight a few examples of its dangers. When exposed to secondhand smoke, young people suffer from more frequent and severe asthma attacks, respiratory infections, and ear infections. Exposure has been connected to sudden death syndrome, SIDS. Exposure to secondhand smoke increases the risk of developing heart disease by 25 to 30%, and the risk for stroke by 20 to 30%. The arguments that casinos would be crushed economically have been proven untrue. Pennsylvania's restaurant industry is still going strong 14 years after losing their smoking sections. Pennsylvania's casinos were forced to close their doors for a significant piece of 2020. They went dark for 33% of the days that they would normally be open. The ability to reopen came with a ban on smoking. Remarkably, industry revenues only dropped by 22%. In other words, for the days that the casinos were actually open, their revenues were up. The Commonwealth's newly minted online gaming business appears to have positioned Pennsylvania's casinos to weather almost any storm. COVID-19 was no picnic for any part of the hospitality industry, but the future is bright for the gaming industry here. Pennsylvania remains second only to Nevada in gaming revenues. Parks, Pennsylvania's top revenue-generating casino in Pennsylvania, saw the writing on the wall. They have opted not only to keep the smoking ban in place, but they are expanding to open a new non-smoking location in Shippensburg. After this hearing, I will reintroduce, along with Senator Costa, my legislation to close loopholes in the Clean Indoor Air Act. But our casinos have every reason to take action to protect the health of their employees and their customers themselves. Workers simply should never be forced to choose between their health and their livelihoods. Thank you, Commissioners. Glad to take questions. Let me say that I'm not here to take a position with respect to the licensing, but assuming that there is, that you do approve it, and I know it's our responsibility in the legislature and government to hopefully pass enhancements in closing these loopholes, but I would strongly urge you to urge the Rivers Casino to reopen or to be relicensed under a condition of being a non-smoking venue in its entirety. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, we will turn to our Office of Enforcement Counsel for their presentation.
Thank you, Director Lloyd. Prior to this hearing, thank you. Prior to this hearing, OEC Exhibits 1 through 5 have been provided to the board and to opposing counsel. This would include arrest statistics generated by the Pennsylvania State Police, Bureau of Gaming Enforcement for Rivers Casino Pittsburgh, Bureau of Liquor Control Enforcement Letter, Office of Compulsive and Problem Gambling Memorandum, Pennsylvania Department of Revenue Letter, and stipulations between OEC and Counsel for Rivers Casino Pittsburgh regarding the admissibility and authenticity of those documents. And I would like to move to enter OEC Exhibits 1 through 5 into the record at this time, if it's appropriate.
No objection.
Okay, so moved.
May I call my first witness?
Yes.
Amanda McKay. Good morning, Amanda. Can you please state and spell your first and last name?
Amanda McKay, AMANDA-MCCAY.
Are you employed by the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board?
Yes.
And what is your job title?
Investigator and case agent assigned to Rivers Casino Pittsburgh.
How long have you held these positions?
I have been an investigator since May 2015. I have been assigned a case agent to Rivers Casino Pittsburgh since October 2018.
And have you previously held any other positions within the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board?
I was previously a casino compliance representative assigned to Lady Luck Casino Nemacolin, and I was there from June 2013 to May 2015.
What are your responsibilities as an investigator for the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement?
I conduct background investigations of individuals and/or business entities that wish to do business with gaming-related entities within Pennsylvania to determine their suitability and approval by the board. I also conduct miscellaneous investigations that pertain to potential regulatory violations at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh.
And what are your responsibilities as a case agent for the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement?
I serve as a liaison between BIE and Rivers Casino Pittsburgh property personnel and other PGCB bureaus regarding investigative issues occurring at the property.
Did you conduct the investigation of Rivers Casino Pittsburgh for its slot machine license renewal application?
Yes.
When did the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement begin its renewal investigation into Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
The renewal application was assigned to me on August 20th, 2020, and the investigation began on September 14th, 2020.
Can you please describe the scope of the investigation?
Per BIE policy for renewal applicants, I reviewed the application and sent correspondence to the applicants or the applicant's designee requesting supporting documents pertaining to the investigation. This includes extensive financial documentation, military history, family history, travel history, criminal and/or civil litigation, and any bankruptcy or lien information. I also conduct various database searches to verify the applicant's credit history, criminal history, education, residence history, PGCB enforcement actions and/or special conditions, gaming licenses held in outside jurisdictions, and federal and state tax compliance. After all the information has been reviewed, I request a meeting and interview the applicant to review the application and all requested documents to ensure all information is accurate and correct. Once the investigation is complete, I prepare a report of investigation.
And when was Rivers Casino Pittsburgh's slot machine license last renewed by the board?
The Category 2 slot machine license was last renewed on November 18th, 2015.
Does this investigation include a review of Rivers Casino Pittsburgh from the date of the last slot machine license renewal to present?
Yes, this renewal investigation covered a time period from the date of the last renewal to when my investigation was complete in June 2021.
Did the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement review the renewal license applications filed by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh, its principal entities, and affiliates?
Yes, I reviewed the renewal application filed by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh and along with two other BIE Western Region case agent investigators completed the investigations of the principal entities and affiliate applications. All of our reports were reviewed by the same deputy director before being approved by the BIE director and then being assigned to OEC.
Did the investigation include a review of the following? Criminal history checks?
Yes.
Civil litigation history checks?
Yes.
Tax clearances?
Yes.
A review of PGCB regulatory history?
Yes.
A review of any enforcement actions taken against Rivers Casino Pittsburgh by OEC?
Yes.
Has Rivers Casino Pittsburgh personnel been cooperative during the investigation?
Yes, they have.
Is the investigation complete?
No, we are waiting for IRS transcripts for the principal entities and affiliates that are required to file tax returns. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a backlog with the IRS causing a delay in receiving the requested transcripts. Through an authorized entity representative, each tax filing applicant with an outstanding request for IRS transcripts has completed an IRS tax affidavit in which the entity representative affirms the applicant does not owe any money to the IRS and has shown good faith in obtaining the transcripts, as well as providing copies of the tax returns during the investigation.
Did the Bureau of Investigations and Enforcement discover any areas of interest during the course of the investigation?
Only the delay in the IRS transcripts.
I have no further questions for this witness, Director Lloyd. If I may clarify for the record, that OEC has requested via the background investigation reports for the applicants that the board place a special condition on each of the affected applicants' license, requiring the production of the IRS tax transcripts within 1 year of licensure, and that will address the area of interest that was identified by the witness. Thank you, Amanda.
Mr. Donnelly, do you have any questions for this witness?
I, of course, can't speak for the individuals, but that seems very reasonable. This is a industry-wide problem, everybody recognizes. So I think that's a wise way to approach it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. May I call my next witness? Salim Jackson.
Good morning. Salim Jackson, SalimJackson.
Thank you, Salim. Are you employed by the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board?
Yes.
What is your job title?
I am a casino compliance supervisor with the Bureau of Casino Compliance.
How long have you held this position?
I've been in this position since May 2015.
Have you previously held any other positions within the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board?
Yes, ma'am. I started with the PGCB in 2006, roughly. 5 years as a licensing analyst with the EPU and also the enterprise unit. 5 years with the Bureau of Casino Compliance as a casino compliance agent, and I'm currently the supervisor.
What are your responsibilities as a Bureau of Casino Compliance supervisor for Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
So, as a casino compliance supervisor, I'm responsible for compliance of all activities, including recording, storage, submission, liaisoning with all levels of law enforcement, and looking into policies, processes, ensuring the integrity of the facility and the safety of the Commonwealth patronage. I collaborate with and help create policies and procedures within the Bureau of Casino Compliance, review all documented reports that are prepared by the casino compliance representatives. We investigate patron complaints, suspicious activity, the casino floor and other sensitive areas, analyze PGCB policies, procedures, violations, prepare necessary reports, internal controls, prepare responses to the Director of Casino Compliance and the senior supervisors, and we submit all incidents and patron reports.
Do your responsibilities include interacting with the Department of Revenue in regard to Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
So yes, we briefly interact with the Department of Revenue, or DOR, employees through reporting financials, surveillance, and sometimes they use our facilities.
Does that also include in the licensing of employees?
Yes, it does.
Can you describe the role of the Bureau of Casino Compliance at the Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
So we liaison and interface with all levels of law enforcement, casino management, casino staff, other PGCB departments, and relatively every aspect of operation and oversight.
Can you describe the type of access that the Bureau of Casino Compliance has within Rivers Casino Pittsburgh in the following departments? The surveillance room?
We have unrestricted access to the surveillance room and its archives.
The count room?
We have unrestricted access to the count room as well.
The central control computer room?
We can access the central control computer room, or the CCC room, for planned maintenance and the appropriate notification to the proper agencies in the case of an emergency.
Have there been any connectivity issues regarding the central control computer room at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh during the renewal period?
So yes, in 2017, there was a connectivity issue in the GTEC room, or the central control room. We call it GTEC, so easier. But it was resolved relatively quickly.
Okay. Did it interfere in any way with your ability to conduct any compliance reviews during this brief period?
No, ma'am.
Was there ever a need for emergency access to any of Rivers Casino Pittsburgh's departments during the renewal period?
Yes, ma'am. There have been relatively minor needs, lock malfunctions, access to the GTEC room for overheating, water damage, access to the secure key box due to lack of power. But we've always been granted access as necessary.
Has the Bureau of Casino Compliance's physical access to any of these departments you mentioned been limited by restrictions put in place due to the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, we've been restricted from going into the count room and the surveillance room due to COVID restrictions, but we have been able to use our surveillance room due to the HD cameras, the PTZs, pan-tilt, zoom cameras, and fixed cameras.
Have these COVID-related restrictions ultimately prevented the Bureau of Casino Compliance from effectively performing its duties at the Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
No, ma'am, they have not.
Does the Bureau of Casino Compliance interact with Rivers Casino Pittsburgh patrons?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Can you please describe how so?
We interact with the PGCB office is on the gaming floor. We're staffed constantly, and we interact with the patrons through casino complaints, disputes, investigations. If a casino patron has a question, they'll speak to us, questions, concerns, information. Sometimes they'll stop us on the gaming floor.
And how does the Bureau of Casino Compliance respond to patron complaints?
We use all of our resources to investigate every patron complaint. We follow up with each patron with as much information as we can share, and we document that information and submit it.
Does the Bureau of Casino Compliance conduct self-exclusion intakes?
So right now, we are not conducting self-exclusion intakes in-house. We will advise and assist where necessary due to COVID protocols. We do help people who are on site and have an immediate need to self-exclude, but for the most part, the SC process is done online.
Can you describe the relationship between the Bureau of Casino Compliance and members of the Pennsylvania State Police that are on site at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
So we work closely with members of the PSP, or Pennsylvania State Police, gaming enforcement, and we have limited reciprocity. You know, we help where necessary. We do our best to provide seamless protection to all Commonwealth patrons. And we've also assisted in helping local, state, federal law enforcement with their duties.
Can you describe the relationship between the Bureau of Casino Compliance and Rivers Casino Pittsburgh management staff and executives?
As mentioned earlier, we pretty much work on a daily basis, if not hourly. They do a respectable job in self-reporting any type of issues. And they typically provide prompt responses to any violations that we identify during the course of our normal job duties.
Has Rivers Casino Pittsburgh management and executive staff been cooperative in compliance reviews conducted by the Bureau of Casino Compliance?
Yes, ma'am, they have.
As the casino compliance supervisor assigned to Rivers Casino Pittsburgh, are you familiar with the regulatory issues that occur at the casino?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And what are the most common regulatory issues found at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
Machine entry, authorization, log reports or meal reports, self-exclusion violations, secure key violations, slot wallet violations, slot machines not reporting financials, card and dice inspections, underage entries, cash counting, or SAR reports, minimum staffing, jackpot notifications, things of that such.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Director Lloyd.
Mr. Donnelly, any questions? Okay, any questions from Commissioner Mustio?
I didn't quite understand that last interaction between you. Were those significant things that you were saying were done, or the results of all that was satisfactory? There was a laundry list there of things that...
Well, we do a lot of reports. Those are our most common reports, so those are things that probably would happen on a daily basis.
So a slot machine not reporting happens every day? Is that what I heard you say? Or?
It can, yes, sir.
And what does that mean, it's not reporting?
So a slot machine not reporting, it could mean that there's a connectivity issue. It could mean that there's an issue inside of the slot machine. It could be something as simple as a bill validator door is not open. It can be an error. It can be a lot of different things.
But you're notified, somebody's notified right away and that machine's taken offline? Is that how that works?
So several departments are notified. We have a third-party vendor, G-Tech, would notify us. We would go out, we would verify that the slot machine is out of service, that it hasn't been being played while it wasn't reporting those financials. Then we would go back and verify the reports. We would notify G-Tech, and then we would document that in a report.
Thank you. I just had my Department of Revenue hat on there, I think. Just wanted to make sure we were getting taxes. That's all. Thank you.
So are we.
May I ask a follow-up?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson, are you familiar with regulatory issues that may occur at other casinos within the Commonwealth?
I'm not comfortable answering for other facilities.
That's fine. I wasn't sure if you were able to compare what the regulatory issues that you mentioned are occurring at Rivers Casino and whether they stand out to you with regard to what occurs at other casinos. If that's outside of your scope, that's fine. Thank you.
Yep.
Any questions on that? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to call Corporal Nicholas Benkovic, please.
My name is Corporal Nicholas Benkovic, Nicholas, Benkovich, and I represent the Pennsylvania State Police.
What is your current assignment and how long have you been in that assignment?
I am currently assigned to the Bureau of Gaming, Pittsburgh Rivers Casino office in the capacity of a unit supervisor, and I've held that position since May of 2021.
Have you previously held any other positions within the Pennsylvania State Police?
I've enlisted in the Pennsylvania State Police in 2008. I've held positions in the patrol unit of Troop G Huntington, multiple stations in Troop B, which is southwestern Pennsylvania. In May of 2020, I was promoted to the rank of corporal and transferred to Troop B Uniontown. I held that position at the rank of a patrol unit supervisor for 1 year prior to transferring to my current assignment at the Rivers Casino in May of 21.
Can you describe your duties in your current position?
As a corporal, I'm responsible for the daily supervisory duties, report corrections, several other administrative responsibilities. I'm currently serving as the acting sergeant while the station commanders await at an extended training. I also take part in maintaining relationship with employees of the Rivers Casino and its patrons.
Can you describe the role of the Pennsylvania State Police at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
The Pennsylvania State Police are responsible for investigating criminal incidents which occur at the Rivers Casino, as well as enforcing Title 18, Title 75, and Title 4 gaming code pertaining to amusements. Our primary responsibilities are gaming floor, employee areas, and administrative offices.
Regarding the police jurisdiction of Rivers Casino Pittsburgh, you testified that the Pennsylvania State Police's primary responsibilities at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh are the gaming floor, employee areas, and administrative offices. Is there a memorandum of agreement or MOA in place between the Pennsylvania State Police and Pittsburgh City Police Department?
Yes.
And according to this MOA, what law enforcement agency has primary police jurisdiction over the Rivers Casino Pittsburgh's parking lot?
Pittsburgh City Police Department.
And the Landing Hotel that will that is scheduled to open sometime during the summer?
Of course, that's also Pittsburgh City Police Department.
And what about other public areas of Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
As I previously stated, The state police would have jurisdiction inside the facility in restaurants, retail establishments, employee areas, administrative offices. Pittsburgh City is responsible for the event center on level 2, the banquet room also located on level 2, exterior buildings, and the surrounding grounds that would include the front lobby and bus offloading areas.
Can you describe the working relationship that Pennsylvania State Police personnel have with the Pittsburgh City Police Department?
We have a good relationship with the officers of Pittsburgh City Police. It's Zone 1, with an emphasis on cooperation and information sharing. Zone 1 recently appointed a new commander, Commander Sean Malloy. I personally attended a meeting with Commander Malloy as well as Sergeant Bogan from the Pennsylvania State Police and relevant members of the casino. The necessity for positive interaction, continued cooperation between the two agencies was stressed. Both agencies have a common goal and recognize each other's role in achieving this common goal in the interest of public safety.
Can you describe the working relationship that Pennsylvania State Police personnel have with Rivers Casino Pittsburgh personnel?
So the Pennsylvania State Police, we work most closely with the Rivers Casino security and surveillance. Our relationship is one of professionalism and respect, and we communicate openly and often, work hard to preserve these channels of communication, specifically with directors and managers of the respective departments.
Is the Pennsylvania State Police satisfied with the level of cooperation between the staff at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh and the troopers stationed within the facility?
Yes.
Can you describe the working relationship that Pennsylvania State Police personnel have with personnel from the board's Bureau of Casino Compliance assigned to Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
This is another area of importance for our office, specifically with respect to their investigations. My understanding is they're mostly regulatory, but there's still an obvious need for cooperation and communication to assist them in their role.
Are you familiar with how arrest statistics are tracked by the Pennsylvania State Police Station at the Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
Yes, it's the Senate reports.
And can you please describe how arrest statistics are recorded?
When a report is corrected and there is an arrest associated with the incident, the supervisor who corrected the report is responsible for updating the Senate report by adjusting the number of counts and persons arrested.
Under what circumstances may the Senate reports be edited?
The Senate report is audited daily as reports are corrected with arrests associated. The new counts are added and the number of persons arrested is modified. Also, arrestees who plead guilty to their citations or charges. When a hearing is held, the outcome results in the arrestee being found not guilty, a charge is dismissed, or the district attorney's office withdraws the charge. The report is edited to reflect the outcome.
For what years are you able to provide accurate arrest data?
2018 to 2021.
Has this process of reporting statistics changed since Rivers Casino Pittsburgh's slot machine license was last renewed in November 2015?
I'm unable to answer that question knowledgeably because I've only held my position since May of 2021. Since I joined the unit, the Senate report is how I was instructed to tabulate arrest statistics.
Can you explain the document that provides a report of the incidents that occurred at Rivers Casino from January of 2022 to March 4th, 2022?
I'm able to use our department software to query incident numbers generated in our offices by organizational unit. Our designation is BGERV. The report can be exported to an Excel sheet where it can be sorted and examined even further.
And can you please identify for the record OEC Exhibit 1?
OEC Exhibit 1 is our Senate report from 2018 to 2021, and then the final pages are the RMS, which is our department software, the pages I was able to generate.
And what does this, what do the lists include that are in OEC Exhibit 1?
So it's a list of offenses, the number of counts, convictions, not guilty, dismissed, withdrawn, and incidents pending disposition for the respective years. For 2022, it is a list of incident numbers generated by our office.
And does this list also include adjudications for the arrests?
The Senate report does.
Can one individual be arrested for more than one offense, and how does this affect your counts?
Yes, the result of this instance would be an increase in counts for the various offenses, but the number of persons being arrested would only increase by one.
And what criminal offense has the greatest number of incidents reported at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh based on the Senate reports and your report in OEC Exhibit 1 from 2018 through March 4th, 2022?
Trespassing, more specifically, Title 18, Section 3503, B1I is how we refer to a defiant trespasser, actual communication to the actor.
And can you please give me an example of the type of conduct that results in a person being charged with this type of offense?
Sure. Any patron who is determined to commit some act of misconduct can be subject to a property ban issued by Rivers Casino Security. The patron returns, if the patron returns, they are subject of an active property ban. They are subject to criminal charges. Additionally, when individual signs up for a self-exclusion through the PGCB and they enter the property prior to their removal from the list, they are subject to a criminal charge.
Does the Pennsylvania State Police have any theories or an explanation as to why Rivers Casino Pittsburgh experiences more incidents of defiant trespass than other offenses?
We have no proven theory, but it has been my observation. Rivers Casino maintains a large self-exclusion list and extensive property ban list consisting of 3,754 names. That's not including the statewide exclusions. On-site misconduct where a patron refuses to leave the property after being directed by either Rivers Casino Security or a PSP member would result in a criminal charge for trespassing. Additionally, the Rivers Casino Pittsburgh experiences over 2 to 3 patrons per year, approximately. We are in close proximity to, or walking distance to 2 professional sports stadiums, one shared with University of Pittsburgh football, an event center and concert venue in Stage AE, a science museum, the North Shore Cultural District, which includes shopping and dining. There's Community College of Allegheny County, a trolley rail system. Additionally, there's Point State Park, as well as being the largest gaming establishment adjacent to the city of Pittsburgh. The recent addition of the Rivers Casino Sportsbook has drawn more foot traffic. Patrons of events held at Heinz Field are permitted to park in the garage of the casino and walk to their destination. On these days, there's a significant increase in occupancy of the casino, which leads to higher probability of criminal incidents. There are well-documented homeless encampments adjacent to the rear of the casino where reports of violence and drug-related offenses are common. The individuals tend to panhandle and seek shelter from the weather in various corridors around the property. The Rivers Casino is also the second most frequented destination for ride-sharing services in Allegheny County. This is indicative of individuals wanting to overindulge responsibly. All of these are factors resulting in the higher number of trespassing offenses reported from our station.
Since 2018, when the highest number of reported incidents of defiant trespass occurred at 250 counts, has there been a decrease in defiant trespass incidents at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
Yes.
How many defiant trespass incidents were reported by the Pennsylvania State Police in 2022, according to the reports?
In the first 63 days, there were 17 incident numbers generated for trespassing.
In 2021?
152 counts.
In 2020?
103 counts.
And in 2019?
176 counts.
Is this reduction in defiant trespass incidents attributable to law enforcement efforts by the Pennsylvania State Police?
I feel it's in part due to our efforts, the efforts of the Pennsylvania State Police. However, the Rivers Casino security personnel are also deserving of a portion of the credit.
Do you believe that a significant number of violent crimes occur at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
In my opinion, no. Statistically, it would reflect that there has been a decrease in instances of simple assault, disorderly conduct, and harassment.
Are there a significant number of crimes occurring by individuals under the age of 21?
In my opinion, no. I would submit that offenses related to individuals under 21 is consistently the second most frequent charge investigated or filed by our station, specifically carrying a false ID. But security officers do an admirable job of identifying fraudulently manufactured ID cards and stopping these individuals from entering the premises.
Has there been a noticeable increase in any specific crimes from 2018 to present?
No, statistically nothing noticeable.
After reviewing the Senate reports and the report you drafted for 2022 for Rivers Casino Pittsburgh, which are in OEC Exhibit 1, do you see a pattern in the type of actual offenses that have occurred at Rivers Casino Pittsburgh?
My observation is that the counts do fluctuate. The types of offenses investigated by the state police remain consistent in our office.
Thank you. I have no further questions for this witness, Director Lloyd.
Mr. Donnelly?
No questions.
Any commissioners' questions?
Officer, I was just wondering, mentioned there's a homeless issue in and around the casino or around the casino?
Yes, sir.
And my guess is that's taken care of by the City of Pittsburgh Police?
Yes, sir.
And most of those, are they charged with defiant trespass? Is that what happens?
No, sir. So they have access to areas around our facility.
Right.
They are not considered a trespasser in those areas. those areas are, those are the jurisdiction of the Pittsburgh City Police, and I'm not able to answer if there are arrests associated with their interactions.
Okay, so those numbers aren't in your reports here, is that correct?
No, sir, I don't have access to statistics from Pittsburgh City.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Okay.
I have no further witnesses.
Okay, then that wraps up our Office of Enforcement Counsel presentation, and we've already moved your exhibits, so we will move on to the public comment portion of today's hearing. I think I have 6 individuals who have registered to speak, and I wasn't looking at the audience when the court reporter swore you, but if you have registered to speak today and are here, if you would stand to be sworn by the court reporter at this time.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
So when I call your name, if you can come up to the podium, you'll have about 5 minutes to speak, and if you're getting close, I will remind you of your time. And our first speaker is LaShawn Burton Falk.
Good morning. Danielle, we have a little bit of in common. My name is going to take a little while to spell. I am LaShawn Burton Falk, that is L-A-S-H-A-W-N. Last name Burton, B-U-R-T-O-N hyphen Falk, F as in Frank, A-U-L-K. Good morning, commissioners and general public. My name is LaShawn Burton Falk, and I am the Executive Director of the Manchester Citizens Corporation, otherwise known as MCC. First, thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. MCC is the Community Development Corporation representing the residents of Manchester. MCC fulfills our mission through development activity, community engagement, planning, implementation, and execution on a community-driven plan. I am a servant to the community who has the gift of moving the adopted plan forward. I am here today to represent through my testimony that the Rivers Casino is a critical part within the community as a strong partner. The Rivers Casino has been entrenched in Manchester and the North Side growth. Steadily, the Rivers Casino shares an activity and behaviors that show valuable team member efforts. I want to share a few ways that the Rivers Casino has shown up for its community. Specific to Manchester and our development activity, the Rivers Casino, via grants, has allowed MCC the ability to leverage more than $2 million worth of development activity in our neighborhood. $2 million developed 2 live workspace buildings to full restoration. So 2 new companies in our neighborhood, 4 residential units, restoring county, city, Pittsburgh public school taxes for structures that were non-contributing for over a decade. MCC appreciates and values a partnership that allows a mission to move forward. And big projects matter, of course, but let's talk about employment and consistent efforts with success on hiring from within the community. The Rivers Casino entrenches and invests in local humans of its community as first priority. It is not often that a community organization like MCC, the Community Development Corp, interacts with every level of employer within a company. I can say that Dr. Hart is visible, present, engaged, and invested in the community. I can also say that we engage regularly with HR, the general manager, and other staff and team members of Rivers. The Rivers Casino participates in community cleanups, literally picking up trash along the roadside that is dumped. The Rivers team has also participated in tree planting throughout the neighborhood to reduce Manchester's heat island to provide tree canopy, which is an environmental issue for our neighborhood. Prior to the pandemic, The Rivers Casino has provided meals for families during holiday season to reduce financial pressures for families in need. The Rivers Casino has also provided resources for our K through 8 Pittsburgh Public Elementary School that afford vulnerable populations access to academic tools that will forever impact brown and black children towards a successful future via technology. The Rivers Casino could not have chosen a better representative than Dr. Hart. He is feet on the street, sleeves rolled up, thumbs on the pulse of all action involving the Rivers Casino team members. We ask you today to please reissue the license of our valued partners so that we can continue the good work that we do. Thank you, and we appreciate your time this morning. I will make one additional note that I hadn't written here related to minority, and Manchester is a community that is greater than 70% minority. I don't know if you ask me any questions or if I'm kind of done at this point, but
Does anyone have questions?
I do have a question. So you're saying that in Manchester is 70% minority?
Greater than.
Greater than 70% minority. So with your partnership with Dr. Hart and with HR, have you seen on the recruitment of employees that there are any additional best practices that could be added to help increase the minority numbers that were presented here today?
They have done an excellent job of recruitment. I don't know that I could say that there would be something that they could do that would be better if someone's looking, for employment and the opportunities are there and available. But I can say as a best practice, they do take priority, within the community and are consistently engaging to look for new team members is what I would call it as staff.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is William Brooks. Mr. Brooks.
Good afternoon now. My name is William Brooks, B-R-O-O-K-S. I am the business manager of Laborers Local 373, the president of the Pittsburgh Regional Building and Construction Trades Council, and I do not like to do this, but I'm going to give you my title to show you how important a relationship we have with the Rivers Casino and their folks are. I currently am the chairman of 6 boards for Allegheny County, which I believe is giving back. I also have a seat at the table at the Pennsylvania State Building Trades Council. And with that said, our partnership, which we represent a diverse group, we represent a diverse group of construction workers in 7 counties in the building trades. I have a title of Vice President of the Laborers District Council of Western Pennsylvania, which we have representation in 33 counties in Western Pennsylvania. We represent a diverse group, and with Rivers Casino, I'm going to talk to business real quick, and then I'll tell you where I was from and what the casino means to me personally, and I'll get out of your hair for the afternoon. The bottom line is that these gentlemen here don't have a written agreement with us. They have an agreement that I grew up with. They look at me and shake hands with me, and they've never went against that. I go back with a man named Richie Stanizzo, if you folks are familiar, some of you are, and he is today one of my best friends. I was talking to a cohort today that mentioned how much the Rivers does for communities that are a little bit away from downtown Pittsburgh or the north side. I sat in meetings with the communities of the north side. I sit in many meetings with communities. That's what we do.